G'day and welcome back to Stiffy's Workshop. Today, going to be changing the oil for the first time on my Lifan converted Postie. So first thing you want to do is not do anything with that bolt. That's not what you want to be adjusting. Get out all your tools, so you've got your sockets, oil catcher, gloves, paper towel, brake cleaner, and I'm rocking the 2050 today for this motorbike. So first thing you want to do is line up your drain pan under your drain plug, which is going to point at it over here, just under here. Your standard Honda Posties be similar spot. And on this particular guy, it is a 17mm socket. Not a 19, not an 18, a 17. Rock and roll. There you go, once you crack it, get it all undone, make sure you catch the washer, because there's a washer between the bolt and the motorbike. And a good idea to wear gloves, because as it says in the CT110 manual, used motor oil is a carcinogen, gives you skin cancer, keep it off your hands. This high performance Lifan motorbike is fitted with a magnetic drain plug. So you can see there it's picked up a bit of rubbish. It's all magnetic. So from there, make it drain a bit faster, open up your dipstick, and then it'll help the oil drain out a little bit faster. You can see it just slowly draining out there. I've done about 500 k's on this motor since I first got it, so it's brand new. And just had its first sort of run-in period. Probably running it a bit hard during the run-in. It said on the side of the motor you're not supposed to go at 50k an hour. I've been running it, sort of 90 a lot of the time, which is obviously much faster than that, but if it blows up, I'll buy another one. And you can see all that magnetic material I've removed. It's magnetic because you can pick up the paper with the sun plug. Righto, slowing down. Get ready to put the bolt back in. Just make sure you get your washer on there. Line her all up. Make sure you hand thread it. You don't want to be cross threading into aluminium. That's always a bad time. I'm running 20W50 because for my use case and my environment, that's the best option, kind of the recommended option based on the handbook, which correlates with the Honda handbook as well. If you do have this, standard Honda motor in there, and always a good idea, get all your drips off. You don't want any more oil dripping around than you need to. And that way, if you do have an actual oil leak, you'll know it's not just from not doing something right last time. Winner, winner. When you're pouring the oil in, it's a good idea to have the oil pan under the motorbike, just in case you have a little spill. It's not going to, you save a lot of paper towel if you accidentally spill something. I'm using a funnel as well, just because I don't feel like cleaning up. And these take about a litre. You have to double check. You don't want to overfill them. You don't want to underfill them. They've got about 500ml range of which they can take oil in, but you really want to make sure that you're pretty near the top. Just if you have a small oil leak, you can lose half a litre pretty quick, or if you have a burning problem, you can lose half a litre pretty quick. And the more oil you have, the better cooling you're going to have in the motor, and it's better lubrication. So it is a good idea to have it at the recommended maximum. If you go too high, that can cause problems as well, like oil foaming. It's never fun. That will degrade the oil much faster than you intend to, especially when you're running a motor at a very high RPM, which these tend to run at. It can sort of churn the oil around, and no longer provides lubricity. It's kind of just taking up space and causes heaps of problems. Things you don't want will get hot, and it's not going to go when you need to. It's hard to splash around something that's foam. And especially if you've got like an actual Honda one, they're pretty expensive motors to replace if you want to keep them the same. This one was done because it had a bad timing chain, so it was, worked out cheaper to change the whole motor over. and I'm so far pretty happy with it, but time will tell. This motorbike's got about a bit over 75,000 Ks on it, so the other motor had done alright, especially with a couple of extended oil changes. The oil change interval normally, this was 500k interval, but normally on the Honda motor it's 4,000 Ks. I'm going to do 1,000k oil changes and just sort of see how it gets on, just because I'm running it pretty hard. Got a lot of 80 zone to get through to get into town, so that's just going to drain in. And here we're going to check the oil, so we'll make sure your dipstick's nice and clean. There's no oil that's going to be throwing anything. That's a halfway line, half litre. Top of that cross hatching is 1 litre. Pop it in. Don't screw it down, because that's not how we measure it. You measure it with it all the way unscrewed, just resting on that little spot. Check the oil, and we're probably about 750, 800 mil in there at the moment. So you can just see, there's a bit of uncovered cross hatching. So we'll go back, top it up again. I'll just top it up a little bit more, same procedure as before. Come back, double check it, make sure it's bang on, and I'm pretty happy with that. That's all the way up to the top. It's not too high, so you're not causing any dramas that way. Winner, winner. That's how you change your postie bike, or brum brum.